Watercooler, ba-ba-ba-dum. Watercooler, watercooler, ba-ba-ba-dum. Yo, welcome to Water Cooler. Thank you so much for tuning in and hanging out with us. You know how the show goes. I, Chris Lux, I'm going to kick it with my curl digital button, Gary and Kaylin and Matt. With me today, all the way in Orange County, CA, it's Gary Smith.
What's up?
Hi, Gary. And then all the way in Austin, Texas, it's Mr. Matt Fondelier.
Hey, brother.
Oh, yeah. And in NoHo, California, Mr. Mike Dawson.
Yes, sir. Happy to be here.
Yes, sir. And all the way in Long Beach, California, we got Kaylin Bean.
What's going on?
We got the crew. We got everybody here. Hi, Kaylin.
Hello.
All right. So let's see. We have seggies. We got things to get into. I do encourage everybody listening to this, by the way, if you haven't heard our Patreon for Jurassic Park, it was wild. It was good stuff. So please, I encourage you to go and listen to that and listen to a movie club where we talked about it. And
do you guys remember Kaylin's amazing tagline in that?
How can we forget? It'll stand the test of time. So,
yeah, sorry I couldn't make that movie night. I had a personal matter come up very quickly that day. So thank you guys for holding it down. My apologies for not being there.
You don't need
dinosaurs.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, we played that drop. We must have played that drop 10 times, and it made absolutely no sense to anybody but us.
Good.
So yeah, but no need to apologize, man. It's all good here. So I was thinking about Jurassic Park, and I was doing some research. By the way, there's a lot of surface to scratch when you're talking about Jurassic Park. That one really flew. And I saw that Michael Crichton also wrote ER, the screenplay for ER.
Right.
And Steven Spielberg helped him get that show going. But then Spielberg wanted it to be like a movie or something, and then they eventually made it into that TV show. But the question stands: would we have George Clooney had we not had Jurassic Park, where Spielberg and Crichton collapsed?
I
Wasn't
think
his mom like a major Hollywood something? I think he comes from
Rosemary
Hollywood
Clooney.
family.
Rosemary Clooney.
Yeah.
But going back a little further, though, if the dinosaurs hadn't begun to asexually reproduce and thus have all the malfunctions in the park, we would not have George Clooney. I think that's ultimately what you're trying to say, right, Chris?
That's exactly right. No, yeah. I was doing it. Yes, I was going farther back than.
Mm-hmm. Well, I actually was reading up on this as well, and I believe that in the original setting, Michael Crichton had the emergency room as like a triage center on Jurassic Park Island, and then once Steven Spielberg got involved and started looking at it, he was just like,
"What's up with these dinosaurs?"
Yeah, he was saying that. And
too many releases.
And if we could ask even a bigger question, would we even have hospitals? Would we have healthcare had it not been?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Exactly. That's my point. So.
What is PGC?
PGC, I think might be Syriana.
Syriana.
The controversial take, but
the one where he's fat? That's like
not for the whole movie.
I haven't seen it, so I guess that's deserving a watch if that's
Michael Crichton, I guess I could argue as well.
I think Ocean's 11.
Michael Clayton.
I was going to go Oceans.
Michael Clayton, pretty solid too.
Yeah, I mean, those are all good. The correct answer is Batman and Robin.
Oh, that's true.
You have some pretty iconic roles in there, Mr. Freeze. I mean, that has to be Matt's favorite villain because all he does is speak in puns.
I did love at the Oscars when Arnold and Danny DeVito went up there and started talking about being Batman villains, and Danny DeVito asked Arnold Schwarzenegger, like, "You're Mr. Freeze. How did you die?" And his answer was love.
Yeah,
because that's how ridiculous that movie is.
It's true though, and it's also what caused him to do what he did. I did
like Danny DeVito's response of he threw me out a window.
Yeah. It was just great. It was a great moment.
It was, but
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh, well, do yourself a flavor.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think so.
Uma Thurman and Alicia Silverstone in the same movie.
Come
And
on.
Jim Carrey, right?
Our
Nope.
eyes.
No, that's a
That's
different one.
Okay.
Our
Is
eyes.
that Val
could
Kilmer?
not-
Is that the Val Kilmer one?
Yeah. So it was it's truly a treat. So I have a new doctor now. And so my last doctor, he retired. He's just like, I'm done. I'm too old. I'm too old for this
Probably
shit.
Oh,
sentiment.
not because of you.
Yeah, he's like, no.
I don't know if it was because of me or not.
I'm a kid anymore.
I don't think I helped,
Yeah.
especially the way my foot swells up when I get gout. Yeah, I'm bothering him a lot. So anyway, he throws in the towel.
Did he tell you to get gout?
He told everyone to get gout.
Bravo.
And
He said, "You're out of here."
And now I have to find a new doctor, and I found one, and it's this father-son duo.
2 doctors.
Well, the office is a father-son duo, but the only one available is the son.
Mm.
And what's wrong, Kalen?
I mean, if you're going father-son duo and you really want the best doctor, I feel like you want the more experienced one out of the two. So to get handed off to the son is like, what? I don't deserve the top notch, the experience here.
Well,
What's
Get
the
passed
age
off
diff?
to the.
Do I want Ken Griffey Sr. or Ken Griffey Jr. on my team?
Good, that's good. What about Cal Ripken?
It's a good argument. I mean, Kalen, on the other hand,
What's up with these dinosaurs?
I know.
No.
Kalen is always wondering that. It doesn't apply to this, Kalen, but that's mean to call the older doctor that. So I walk into the office, and the worst thing you do when you go into a doctor's office that you've never been there, they're like, okay, just fill this out. And they hand me a clipboard that has like a stack of papers an inch thick where I am writing my name 20 times. I'm writing my address 20 times. I'm signing things. I'm initialing. I'm dating things. I'm literally right. It's punishment. It's school. It's like punishment from back when I was in school that I'm just having to write the same thing over and over again. By the way, I haven't written anything in a long time with like handwritten anything anymore. So I'm getting tired. There's fatigue setting in.
Getting tired.
My penmanship is getting sloppier by the 15th page.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
And I'm assuming the answer is no, but they didn't provide digital paperwork for you to
No.
just like PDF
No,
sign?
that's a huge
Find a
argument.
new doctor. You got to find a new doctor.
What are we doing here with these ancient ways?
You get some carpal tunnel in your wrist there too, don't you? That might be flaring back up again with all this writing.
I certainly do. Yeah. And I was feeling a little bit of a flare up. I'll be honest.
They're trying to pad their bills so they can treat you for
That might be it. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
That's,
That is.
oh yeah.
I like that. That's a good theory. So I'm writing. By the way, it's one of those things where these papers had to have come from 1968 or something, because it's like name, first name, last name, address, and the address they give you like 2 inches of blank space to write your whole freaking address. I'm including city, state, and zip.
Damn.
What the hell?
That should have its own field. Several fields.
Yeah, and it's just so we gotta go digital. All offices, please go digital. I can type a lot faster than I can write. We can get over this, unless they're stalling, because it's a waiting room. You're gonna wait the doctor's office a ton anyway. This might be a method for them to use, as to we'll just keep them sitting there for 30 minutes filling out paper.
I wonder if it's because, generally speaking, you're more likely to be in a doctor's office if you're older, and when you start to get really old, they're just not into the technology. They don't know necessarily how to do the digital paperwork. I'm not trying to judge anybody.
Why do I have to suffer then? Why does the general pop have to suffer?
It's just the tyranny of the medical system. I don't know what
that's
else to
the
tell you.
tyranny of the few. Yeah.
That's exactly right, Matt.
Yep.
So I'm having to squish my name and my address and all my other information.
Yeah, Gary Smith doesn't have that problem. He can fit his name onto one line. Christopher Loxamana.
Too many letters. Yeah, it's too much ink. I'd ask for a new pen. They just die after 3 sheets. So I fill it out and I go in there, and in walks the doctor. After taking all vitals and all that stuff. By the way, the woman taking all my vitals, like my weight and blood pressure, she had somebody training, so just like somebody shadowing her. Like, I don't want all of you guys to know all my shit.
Right, dude.
You haven't even vetted her yet. Like, she's not even, and now she has to learn all my secrets. So in walks the doctor, and he's younger than I am, which is
There you go.
this is the first time. This is the first time. And then, so I was a little bothered by this. Like, I'm sitting here and freaking Doogie Howser just walks in and just telling me what's up.
But Chris, we're no spring chickens. How much younger than you, though?
Not, I would say just a little bit younger, a couple years. Yeah, okay. I know. Well, here's the thing. I find
some grizzled old man who smells slightly of bourbon.
I had that. He retired.
Yeah.
So, and then I was thinking, maybe this is a good thing because you don't want your doctor to go before you do.
Yeah, that's certainly a spin I've heard before, right? Like my parents, when they had to get new doctors, they had the same situation as you. They wanted someone who was at least 20 years younger than them because that's someone that they could, latch onto and have be their doctor for the rest of their lives.
And now they don't have to fill out paperwork at a new doctor's office anymore because that doctor's gonna be around.
Exactly.
So I was thinking, I'm gonna try this young doctor thing out.
Maybe you should have gotten a younger doctor when you were like in your teens.
That's what I
should have had like a 12-year-old doctor.
Why do you think Doogie Howser?
That's what you needed Doogie
was so popular
back then. Yeah.
By the way, Doogie Howser's like a surgeon, wasn't he?
Like Clooney in the ER.
Yeah, or a young Clooney.
Oh.
Right. That's correct. So I have the younger doctor. It was weird when he was doing TikTok dances in the office.
I was just going to ask you if he had any of the lingo. Did he nut tap you? Did he do anything unusual?
Does he keep it 100? Or is that out now? Are we not? Is nobody keeping it 100 anymore?
After reviewing your charts, everything looks Gucci.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I'm gonna try this out, and I was thinking though maybe this is a good thing.
Your graphs are looking Gucci. You are Gucci, my friend.
I know, but I'm one of his old patients now, so we'll see. But I thought it was interesting that this is the first time it's kind of that phenomenon. Caitlin's probably coming across it now, where a lot of his favorite athletes are younger than him. Right? Like,
yeah, that was actually probably a couple years ago is when it first started. And it's a lot of those NBA players walking up to the free throw line, showing their stats and their age. I'm going like, oh God. Anthony Edwards is like 21. Jesus Christ, dude. That dude looks like he's older than I am.
Why do they still look older than us?
Definitely don't watch any March Madness. That should bum you out.
Yeah. It's weird thinking, oh, those are kids.
Yeah,
they're basically kids in March.
It's with the basketball players, especially.
Yeah, and I look like
it's like son. It's the memes like about LeBron James being like a medical marvel. Like he's my age.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. So, yeah, I just it's weird now. Like it was weird when athletes did it, and it's now weird when my doctor does it. Anyway, moving on. I saw Gary.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I saw Gary. I was in the neighborhood because I was going to a family party, and I just called Gary. I'm like, hey, Gary, I'm 13 minutes away. Could I stop by and say hi? And he's like, sure. So I just stopped. I stopped by his house. His lovely family comes out and greets us, and then his son. We're about to drive away. It's my family in the car. We're about to drive away now to go to this party, and Gary's like, 1 second. And his son comes out, and his son's like, can I show you guys something? And I'm thinking, all right. I'm looking at the watch, like, all right, let's, yeah, of course, you can show us whatever you want. And he's like, okay. And I'm thinking he's going to like do a cartwheel or something. And then he runs back to the house. I'm like, oh, he's getting a prop. And he gets one of those mortars that you jump on like the air pump, and then it just shoots the Nerf missile into the sky. Really cool stuff.
Solid toy.
So we do it. He shoots in the sky. We clap, and then it hits the car. He hits our car. He attacks. Gary.
He hit your car with a missile?
He hit my car with a missile.
And you're telling this story because you're impressed by him being able to range it?
It was impressive, actually. It was.
I'm telling you, if that thing had been 1 degree down from where he said it, it would have been in Jenny's lap inside the window of the car.
Wow.
Yeah, Jen had to come back in the car because it was going to hit her.
It missed the window opening by about 4 inches.
Yeah. So, yeah, he has good aim and a bright future.
Yeah. Speaking of LeBron James, does he have your height, Gary?
He does, but he probably has all my coordination too. So I don't know about LeBron James.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was he is very, very good aim. All right. You guys want to do some comments?
Yeah.
I know I said it weird too, so yeah, it deserved a weird answer. All right, here we go.
It's time for senior
All right, and these are all comments found by you, the listener. We read comments, comments, and we'd like to see what you're thinking of the show, what's going on with you all. Let me go to the Patreon page first because we release our episodes ad free, and you can comment on our shows there as well. So if you like this show and you don't want commercials, subscribe to our Patreon. This is from last week's episode, The Club.
The Club.
I said it right. No, The Club.
You did.
Okay, there you go.
All right, The Club, or what's The Club? Is club something? The Club.
That's when you've had a few drinks and you try to say the club.
Yeah. All right. Well, The Club. Let's see here. Stacy Smith. Dawson's muted, but
What's up, Stacy? How are you, baby doll?
now for those who aren't subscribed to the Patreon, Stacy and Dawson have a
History.
they have a history. They have. How would you describe it, Gary?
Yeah, she's a fan.
She's a subscriber to the Patreon, and she complains about Dawson
Yeah.
once in a while. She has some criticisms about the show, mainly
Constructive
Dawson.
criticism.
The lady doth protest too much.
Well, anyway, she wrote a comment to our episode last week.
Yeah.
He says, "Am I the only one cracking up, picturing flip-flop Matt in a full sprint?" Yeah,
Yeah, I think so, Stacy.
because I was talking about when was the last time you sprinted, and
We've seen it. Yeah, it's no laughing matter.
Mm-hmm.
I
I did used to have to sprint around the Corolla Studios a lot more
Yeah.
often than you'd think. So he is telling the truth.
we're used to hearing those flip-flops
Yeah.
clapping pretty fast. So,
And going
it is
full
funny.
circle here, isn't there a famous scene, George Clooney running in flip flops in I think it's called The Descendants. If you guys remember that. I'm not trying to say that I'm
Never
like
saw it.
George Clooney, but
Yeah,
let's
no.
just let the
It's him.
facts speak for
The
themselves.
great ones running flip flops is, I think, what you're saying.
Yeah.
Maximus from Gladiator.
And then both of
Mhm.
you ended up in the ER.
That's true as well.
Stacy also writes, "Hi, Dawson."
Hi, how are you?
She says, "Bravo on less coughing into the mic."
Thank
Oh, wait, you were
buddy.
gone last week. Never mind.
That's pretty funny.
Stacy,
That's pretty funny.
Stacy.
That's
My God.
good, Stacy. That's good. Like that.
I feel bad. I think I don't like this.
Stacy's
is a fun-
got
this
a
is a fun
thing
bit.
for me. She's got a thing for me. I get it. I understand, Stacy.
We get it, Stacy. Cody Walker
Love you
writes,
back.
"Picklebacks are great, but try jalapeno juice or half pickle, half jalapeno juice. It's great after whiskey."
No.
I'm down. I'd try it. I don't think I've ever had it. I don't think I've ever had jalapeno juice.
I think if of those two options, I think I'd go straight jalapeno juice. Adding pickles in there, I don't know. That doesn't sound right.
I'm okay with it. I don't know why. I just I think it would have bite. Something Kaylin would be into for sure.
Yay. Yeah,
I
I'd
know.
try it. I'd try it.
I'd be jalapeno juice.
Yeah, we try it. Doss, would you try it?
Yeah.
Yeah, see? We're all
I
trying. Send it
used
over.
to drink, we not only would drink pickle juice as kids out of the jar, but we'd also drink pepperoncini.
Oh,
Miss
yes.
Pepperoncini juice.
Kaylin did
Oh,
that today.
genie
I bet.
juice.
That's
Fucking-
yeah. I've been on a peppercini kick recently. Well, for the past like 2 months. That's
Is that another
Yeah.
part of the economy?
I got to be careful. It gives me stomach aches.
Yeah,
Too
Kaylin.
many spicy things.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Kaylin gets an ulcer, he stops for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Jacob more or less says, I have a new segment idea. Kalen introduces his family to the old man.
Wow.
We could call it the return to the sea.
If he's still around. I mean,
He's probably
I'm not
dead.
sure. Yeah, he might be.
He was living a
Yeah.
hard life. I don't know if he's
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Well, after the heartbreak,
It didn't sound like
Probably
he was living a
died
hard
in that
life.
apartment,
What are you talking about? The guy goes to concerts and spas.
dreaming of Kalen.
He
Yeah.
did reach out to me after I moved out. I did not answer him back.
Is that a euphemism or?
Yeah. Ghosted him, huh, Kalen? All right. David Matt Mammoth 69 Smith says, based on the name of the last Patreon episode, shouldn't this one be named Taco Grooming? And that's because Matt has been using our calendar to plan his personal events.
oh, that's true.
Mhm.
Yes, so thank you for that. I also want to just share a couple of comments from our movie club here. Where we did Jurassic Park. Peter Morrow says, I enjoyed this movie, but one of my least favorite changes from the book to the movie was how they changed the character of John Hammond. In the book, Hammond was a charlatan and an egomaniac who really didn't even care about his grandkids much. They
Oh,
him a lot for the movie, but still kept that odd ice cream scene in which made it seem a bit out of character.
that's cool.
Yeah, we talked about that ice cream scene.
I mean,
What
I
did the
strongly
dinosaurs?
disagree.
What did the dinosaurs look like in the book, Peter?
I agree. I disagree as well, Matt. I think that the ice cream scene especially makes it true to the book character because he clearly did not care about his grandchildren in that moment. Who's eating ice cream while your grandchildren are loose in a park with fucking dinosaurs? Like, no.
That's true.
And his excuse was, yeah, it'll melt.
Well,
Okay.
he also
Yeah.
needed energy. I mean, you're gonna be
No,
from dinosaurs. You need fuel.
I think it was better to have a character who created this powerful thing because they were trying to do what they thought was like the right thing. Like he had good intentions. He wasn't like a monomaniacal psychopath who didn't give a shit about anybody. Like I like that in the movie. It is somebody who had good intentions and it just completely went out of their control. Like that speaks to way more interesting themes. That's just my take.
Can
I think
get-
the real question has to be what's up with the fucking parents? What's up with Hammond's child who signs off on their fucking 9 and 11-year-old going to a fucking Jurassic Park?
Well, you got to watch Jurassic Park 3 and you could get some of those answers.
I did. I won't be doing
It
it
was
again.
disappointing.
Um,
What
Can
was the answer? What was the answer? I'm not going to watch Jurassic Park 3. Why?
You know, Tay Leone and William H. Macy. That's all I can say. I don't remember. It's not one I've revisited very much either.
So, what about this though? Humor me this, gentlemen. John Hammond is eating a bunch of ice cream because it might melt. Had he not done that and went looking for his grandkids, that ice cream shall have melted all over the table, all over the floor, to where then his grandchildren run into the dining room and
Slip and
it's
fall.
sticky as hell.
Yeah.
Now they're trying, and it would actually slow them down just enough, treading over the sticky ice cream to where the raptors who are chasing them actually catch them, eat them, and they are dead. So, did John
Yeah.
Hammond save his grandchildren's lives by consuming all of this ice cream?
I again go back, and we talked about this briefly in the commentary. Why were the giant tubs of ice cream removed from the freezer in the first place? He is still
Yeah.
responsible for putting them into the room where they slip
Right.
on them. If they had just stayed and
Right.
melted in the freezer, they would
Right.
still be fine.
Right. And maybe Nedry would get the power back on.
Maybe that would happen
Uh-uh.
too.
Joe Cool says, did anyone else buy a replica Velociraptor claw? They sold them at museums and that nature company store at the mall next to the rain sticks.
The rain sticks. I remember those.
No, but I had a rain stick for sure.
Yeah.
The rain sticks, I had the coolest thing I ever got at a gift shop at a museum was it looked like a crystal ball that had electricity going. You can like put your finger
Finger on
Yeah.
it.
on
You
it.
would touch it and all the
Yeah, that was pretty cool. But
I mean, what a rare and valuable object you came across. I've never seen this.
yeah, it's museum gift shops were the shit. I mean, there's this one museum gift shop that has fake declarations of independence, but I hear one of them is actually the actual real one.
I've seen that documentary.
All
That
right.
deserves a rewatch. It's been too long.
No, Galen, it doesn't.
Yeah,
Yes, it does.
it definitely
How
does.
dare you,
Yeah,
Chris?
it's been like a full 2 years since I've seen that movie.
I
I
will
need to go
not
back.
stand for this blasphemy. That definitely deserves a rewatch. So does the sequel. Skip the series.
All right, let's go to our Facebook comments here. And by the way, these are comments from our Facebook group. And if you're not a part of our Facebook group, you can join for free. It's an excellent community. Just go to facebook.com/group/BoboBoyArmy Worldwide LLC. Answer a few questions. We might let you in. And that's my favorite place on the internet. All right. Dan Churchman writes, I put my underwear on backwards this morning. I didn't notice until 4 p.m. It was a good day up until that point. Now, this is kind of philosophical, guys. It was a good day up until that point. Because that could go, this can relate to a lot of different metaphors for life. But you guys ever do this? Put your underwear on backwards and then realize that the pee hole's at your butthole?
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, the way you phrased it, I'm afraid to say yes, but technically yes, which begs the question: did this gentleman not have to pee until 4 o'clock in the afternoon?
Well,
Good
no.
question.
Do you Matt? Do you pee through the pee hole or do you pull your boxers
I
down?
mean, it just depends.
I
Kind
never.
of movie, Dan.
I don't know
Yeah,
why.
No,
man.
you never.
I've actually I take it back. I only use it when I'm wearing like a suit because I don't want to take the belt and the 3 buttons apart.
See there,
And
yeah,
I
sure,
just
I
go
get
straight
that.
through the fly. But otherwise, I bend the band. I'm a
In
band.
the band, you're a band bender.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was strange to just go through the barn door. I mean, I feel like that's what it's there for.
Gary, I know you have a lot to say about this. What do you
I
Over the top or through the barn door? Come on, are you a band bender or what?
mean, I would say I'm 50-50, but I would also say that
There
the
you go.
kind of underwear that I wear, it would not be possible for me to not realize they were on backwards for a majority of the day. Chris,
Why?
you're just hanging brain right over the belt loop,
over the belt loop? What?
like
Sure.
over your belt.
When you go pee, yeah.
Oh, when I bend the band, I certainly do.
That's not a weird thing
That's not
to
weird
do
at
when you're
all.
going pee.
What-
That's
how
the
am I-
norm. That's
How
the
do I
norm.
not do that? And by the way,
Well-
I don't go over my belt. Like I take apart my belt, like I and then I undo the buttons, undo the zipper, and everything goes below.
That is correct. That's the
Yeah.
correct way to
I'm
do
not
it.
keeping my
Yeah.
belt attached. I'm not crazy.
Any of you guys do the move where you just pull your pants down to your ankles?
Only
And then-
when I'm
and
out
then
in
just
public.
put your arms on your waist, Superman style.
Only in public.
Dawson, are you band bender or you go through the barn doors?
It always depends on what I'm wearing. Exactly the suit
Yeah.
conundrum, like you said, but also like Gary, I did 2 days ago put my underwear on backwards because I wasn't paying attention, and I immediately could tell my underwear was on backwards, and I switched it out.
I feel like it's a humble brag if you can.
I
immediately
think
tell.
the only possible way to make it through the day is dude wears boxers.
Mm.
That's the only way
Well,
I think it works.
Mr. Cuban, if I may, why are we putting the barn door on one side? Why don't we just make boxers double? Like we wear it either way. Why don't we just? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, why do I have to think about it? Make it like a USB-C cable. It doesn't matter which way I put it in; it'll still work.
Wow.
Well said, sir.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think that look, if I'm gonna reinvent the boxers, the boxer, then yeah, the boxer brief,
Double hole boxers. How's
Double
that not
hole-
going to sell?
double hole them. It's more ventilation.
Yeah.
What do we have
We
to
put a
lose
hole
here?
in the back because you already have one.
Yeah.
Right.
Kalen, are you with me?
No,
I'm not with you.
Well, you know, when the profits
That is
start coming in,
ridiculous.
Kalen, you'll be left off the
Yeah.
balance sheet.
I
All
don't
right.
understand- Wait, Kalen, why not?
It's for utility, or it's to make sure that you don't accidentally put them on backwards. It seems like a logistical nightmare
What
having.
if there's
you
no
know,
backwards?
if there's no, well, actually, maybe I don't hate that. now that I
Yeah,
think about
you
it.
not have
There's
to
no
think
more
If it's for
backwards.
this sole purpose of having it have no back, it could be
Kalen's
worn
a
either way.
believer
Then
now, huh?
actually, I might be in favor of it.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
not so
Kalen.
much for utility, but it's to make sure that you can't put them on back. I mean, okay.
ever get-
I don't hate it actually.
You ever get dressed in the dark, Kalen?
I do.
Yeah, you seem like a guy who gets dressed in the dark.
I do, and I put my shit
Imagine.
on backwards.
Can
Yeah.
you? Yeah, can you imagine not having to think about that? And you
Don't
just
have to
all you have to
worry.
worry about is put your legs in their own leg hole, and you.
I'm
pull-
really warming up to this idea
ready-
quickly.
you're ready to
Actually,
go.
yeah. All right. I'm 180. I'm doing a 180.
Yeah,
I
well,
do agree.
If you're
You
wearing
convinced me.
if you're wearing those underwear, it won't matter if you're doing a 180 or not.
It
Is
doesn't. Yeah.
putting on your underwear that great an imposition?
It's annoying when you put on your underwear backwards in the dark.
Yeah.
You're tired, you're sleepy, you're waking up, you just guess, you go, fuck it, I'm just gonna
Dude.
guess on this one, and then you guess wrong, you go, God.
Because you think it's a 50-50 shot every time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you take the gamble, but when you lose, it,
You lose hard.
I don't want to get too far ahead of the game here, but if this is successful, I say why stop at the underwear? We should have double zipper jeans and shorts, like anything. There's no more backwards.
I love
this.
this.
This is an awful idea, but whatever.
I find that a fly on my backside would be uncomfortable.
Well, again, I understand. I took it too far. We'll just
No, but
Go
look,
back to
I'm
the
not gonna
drawing
knock it.
board.
I'll try it. Like, wasn't there an '80s group, Chris Karas, that did that?
Warm it up, Chris.
No, they just put their shit on backwards.
So they would know what it's like to sit on a fly. But but to have to commute like that, I don't know. That seems like a little much. But I'm sure there has to be an answer. But let's just start with the boxers. We already do it with socks. Doesn't matter what side. What?
No, Caitlin does it with socks.
Doesn't matter what.
I wouldn't mind having inside out socks. You know,
Oh,
you could wear them.
from
You could
the
wear 'em
makers.
either way. Doesn't matter which way they're turned out. You can put them on and wear them, baby.
Galen, that's what I'm talking about. This is the kind of entrepreneurship that we need
Yes,
in Bubba Boy Army worldwide.
I told you I've been up in my sock game.
I love it. And it's real. Look, there is a large portion of people who get dressed in the dark. Imagine if they could get dressed in the dark comfortably to where they could just walk right out of the house without even have to look in the mirror.
We have a whole nation of truckers who are getting up to make this country function. And they
Right.
wake up when it's still dark outside.
Yeah.
So if you're an American and you support American products, you will buy both the reversible underwear and inside out socks.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it for the truckers.
I mean, they're the ones who are really making the
Yeah,
run.
they need inside out socks.
Yeah.
That will change everything.
All right. Well, Dan Churchman, I know you put your underwear on backwards this morning, but that could have been the best thing that ever happened to you.
You
And
just helped a nation.
You changed the world today.
yeah. All right, moving on. It's gonna be
You
hard
sure?
because
Yeah, can I propose a product name for the inside out socks and cocks? Because I mean, you spell it backwards, that's pretty much what you're ending up with. It's a terrible idea. Jesus Christ.
I think it's a fantastic idea.
Gary.
Honestly, I think it's a really, really good.
I'm
great
sorry,
idea.
I don't want to go back to disparaging the original commenter, but I can't get past this. I've never once put my underwear on backwards and not been able to tell.
It's got to be boxers. It's got to be boxers.
It is weird that he couldn't tell. That I agree with
I've
that
done it.
point.
You haven't done it.
I've done it.
I've done it, but I
it's
tell
outside of
immediately.
my
That's what I'm
bedroom.
saying.
Yeah, exactly. 4 steps later, I'm like, okay, this doesn't feel right. And boxers doesn't pass the sniff test for me, Doss, because maybe it's boxer briefs that I wear. But if my junk is not in the proper position, I can tell that immediately.
Well, Gary,
That's
that-
because boxers though
Yeah.
are loose.
I think Dawson is right because I mean, ever since we got introduced to Tommy John all those years ago, that's all I've ever worn since. And you can immediately tell with a pair of Tommy Johns when you put them on backwards. But like a loose pair of old boxers, I could probably see that.
actually,
is this a fucking ad for Tommy John? Because
it is,
it's really
because-
starting to sound like it now.
it almost
Yes, it
did.
is.
Well, I don't know.
Only-
Do they have the backwards technology on there?
Yours did, Caitlin, but yours DIY. So anyway, let's move on. But Gary, I think I have to disagree with you on this. I think it's a fantastic idea, and you'll never never have to worry about wearing your boxers backwards again. Is a pretty nice feeling. Eric,
Think about how else we can spend that mental energy.
I know.
throughout the day.
Thank you. Matt is
We
on
spent a lot of it.
Matt, you get a
on
cut.
this
Caitlin,
subject
you get a
today.
cut. Dawson gets a cut. Gary, you still gotta convince me. I don't want to leave you out. You'll get a cut too because we like it. All right, we all win. Eric Laporte. He says, "What is your go-to for wings? Ranch or blue cheese?"
Blue cheese.
To quote,
there's a correct.
Depends.
yeah,
There's a depends, but I don't want to choose that one.
To quote the great Joey Diaz, "Is blue cheese or fuck your mother?"
Joey Diaz is correct because, not to you, Gary, or anybody here actually, but it's just blue cheese is the correct answer. It's always preferable. Ranch is
I disagree.
Yep.
Hard disagree.
Well, Kaylin,
You're a
here's
ranch
what I
guy?
will say.
I'm
I
definitely a
cannot-
ranch guy, but I do like a blue cheese if it's like not too fucking blue cheesy, because then that's just fucking
knew
gross.
you were
But
gonna
there
say blue
there is like
cheesy.
a mix of like
Yeah.
ranch and blue cheese, like a really like kind of creamy blue cheese. That is my preferred dip. But if I'm going one or the other and I don't know what kind of blue cheese dip they got going out of there, then I'm just going ranch just to be safe.
I'm going to almost agree with you and take the opposite at the exact same time. I can go with a ranch if it's a thick ranch. If I get a runny ranch, it's going to ruin my day. I want to be able to scoop up some of the ranch or blue cheese and know that it's going to stay on that wing before I take a bite.
Big shout out to Wingstop Ranch.
Wingstop
It's the
Ranch.
best in the game.
Wingstop Ranch, pretty good.
I will go to Wingstop just to get the ranch and then go pick up like
Oh.
burgers and fries from somewhere else just to dip the fries in the Wingstop Ranch.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
Really?
Andrew.
Yeah.
Caitlin,
Absolutely.
I got a ranch
Wow.
spot for you. After
You got a ranch? Ooh.
I'll hit you up after this.
All
show.
right.
You
Yeah,
gotta
let me
try
know.
it.
No. Share with the group. Long Beach is only 20 minutes away.
Thunderbolt Pizza. They make their own.
Oh no, dude! Thunderbolt Ranch sucks. It is
They're
so
insane.
weird. It's like a weird like dill flavor
It's
in it.
very
I fucking
dill forward.
hate.
It's dill
I
forward.
hate Thunderbolt's Ranch.
the
It is
best.
no good.
Oh, Matt would like it.
Wrong.
Matt, you and I with sophisticated palates would enjoy
Oh,
that.
I love me a homemade ranch. It's like,
Aw.
got a little Dijon on it.
Oh,
so
if
to
I
speak.
put Wingstop and Thunderbolt side by side, it would fucking blow it out.
Hey,
of the water.
Matt, I
there's no way
apologize.
anyone would pick Thunderbolt.
I apologize for involving the movie guy when we're talking about food here, because it's all about. I should have brought you into this mix instead. Jason Thomas says, "I sure did like the more technical booze talk on the last show. It was refreshing. Maybe we can have a dedicated spot with the man, the myth, the legend, Dos Angeles heading up the Segi. Not that he doesn't have enough to do, but that perspective behind that voice could be a banger. Just saying, woof woof." Yeah, what do we talk about? Chasers? Is that what Jason's referring to? All the different chasers?
I think either that or Dawson subjecting his friends to the shittiest tequila behind the bar.
Oh, maybe it was that. Yeah, Doss. You were drinking last night. What was the weapon of choice?
I got the big bottle of Bullet Rye from Costco because it was like
classic.
$30, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, dude, I gotta get one of those. But rye and water, to be honest, dude. I've been going the whiskey and water, or the bourbon water.
I like the whiskey water, but I'd rather just throw in an ice cube in there, and then it becomes whiskey water, and it's kind of chilled too. But if you want to,
I never buy ice. I don't own any ice.
I don't know if you knew this, but
I don't
if you
know,
take
nice.
water and you
I
freeze
know.
it,
I know.
it becomes ice.
I know. I don't know. It's so weird. It's never been a big part of my life. I just don't need ice.
Get this man an ice tray, man. You need to get like a big one of those big cube ones or one of those big ball ones. It'll change your life.
One day when my refrigerator dies, I'll get one with an ice machine.
I was an ice tray guy my whole life, and then I've told the story before how I fixed the ice maker at my place now, and I have infinite ice, and every time I get ice from that ice maker, it's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, and I've told this story before, but I was an ice tray guy for about the last 10 years. And then when I moved into my house, I made a huge point of the fact that we are getting a fucking ice machine in our freezer. And I did it. I spent an extra couple $100 to do it just to get here and realize there's no water where the fucking fridge goes.
Oh, that's right.
no.
Ruins my life to this day.
Yeah, oh man, that's brutal.
I'm probably
I used to-
on the verge of buying one of those desktop like countertop ice makers that they
The
have.
pebble ice ones. They
Yeah.
make pebble ice ones, which is I think the superior ice shape, more than the ball, more than the crushed.
I used to install kitchen appliances, and there was nothing worse than on a hot day we had to since we were the kids, we had to run all the water lines to the fridge, and crawling under a house when it's 108 degrees outside, black widows fucking everywhere. It was a miserable fucking job, but it doesn't cost that much money, I think, to run a water line to your fridge.
I got like $200. You want to come over?
No.
It's all appliances. Yeah. Austin Maytag, man. Joe Metzdorf. He says, Matt, I've got a dentist appointment next week. Can you please add it to the calendar? Yeah, certainly, Joe. Certainly. Jeez.
Yeah, I think a few people commented underneath that to have me add their appointments as well.
Yeah, you want anything on your grocery list while we're at it?
Brian Little says, being a child of the 70s, Shogun was a pretty good watch. And being a heavy cannabis user today, it takes 90 minutes to watch an episode. I totally recommend.
I finally caught up. I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
What's that on again?
FX or Hulu?
It's good.
Yeah. Scott Breitenstein says, I recently lost my barber of 20 years in LA. I haven't had to explain how to cut my hair in forever. It's been a painful auditioning process, like finding a new lead singer for a band and my wife.
I think you read this one before. Didn't we do a whole haircut talk thing?
No, that's why he's commenting. That's what happened to me. I lost my hairdresser of like 16 years. So I feel for this guy. I feel for you.
And I will say this, my new hairstylist, she's younger than me. You gotta just find someone younger than you.
Yeah, dude.
Because you want to outlive all the people that you're using their services for. So then you don't have to explain the new stuff anymore. Because explaining a new haircut is very difficult. I don't even know how to explain it to anybody. I've never had a set way to explain it. I just go, whatever you think is good, just not too short. And I'm very vague, and they probably hate it. I don't know. I just don't know. So I feel for you. I feel for you, buddy. Troy Jackson says, I'm in the LA area and want to party with the boys. Can we do a Bobo meetup? Let's make it happen. And Dawson, he said, I'm down to hang. Did you hang out with Troy, Dawson?
No.
No.
No, I told him I was going to Ted Russell Camp's CD release party and said, show up. And then I saw on Facebook, he said, I'm on my way. And I never saw him. But we'll hang, dude.
Yeah, hit us up whenever you're
We'll hang, Troy. Ireland's 32 tomorrow night. The best all-star jam in the Valley. I think Angela Petrilli is going to be there tomorrow night too.
She rips. Jason Thomas says, howdy, y'all. Green beers. Yeah, we're talking about green beers. Says, I can speak from experience to the fermentation of anything with coloring agents in it. The yeast seems to take the yeast seems to take the coloring agent.
I heard it as soon as you said it.
Me too.
Wow.
They take the coloring to the bottom and when it dies, and yeah, because he wanted to make a kiwi cider for St. Patty's, and he discovered this. So he's fermented many things, and just you can't color fermented products. So sorry, Matt. It was
all right.
I know.
After we're done with the reversible socks, we're gonna get going on fermented food coloring.
Right. Or look, we're innovators, and that's what we're gonna do.
Oh, it's just a good place to put our money.
That's true too.
For sure.
Really want to know.
Matt, what do you think? Bird coloring?
Well done.
Frank Tijerino says a good chaser is a wedge of orange after a shot of Crown. That sounds good.
That does sound good.
That does sound good.
I mean, a wedge of orange is it's always great, right? I feel like
before, after, without,
especially after soccer practice. I mean, I don't have enough orange wedges in my life, I feel like.
Yeah, me neither. And I have an orange tree. Steven Thiltgen says, this podcast has affected my brain in a weird way. All of us. I've started without thinking about it, saying what's crapping to people. To people I hear, and to people, and I hear Dos Angeles in my head. So there you go, Dos.
Good. Jay Miller said that first to me.
Oh, love Jay.
So.
And lastly, Justin Trashel says, hey, Boba Army. That's fine. I'm a dirty Android user. Google's about to stop supporting its Google Podcast app. What should I use? And everybody contributed their own. There really just isn't one standard Google Podcast app. It looks like everyone's using Pocket Casts, but I still use the Apple Podcast and Spotify on my phone, and I'm sure there are better ones, but it's just easy. I'm just comfortable with it. And I think the Apple Podcast got better. I remember it was hot dog doo-doo when it first came out, but I think
it's better.
Yeah.
Good is still a long ways off, but it's better. Now it does AI transcriptions, which is kind of useful. You can search, through whatever keyword you're looking for if you need to find something. It's getting better.
I didn't know that. All right. Anyways,
if you're ever in the internet looking for peppercini juice, you know that you could turn to this podcast and you would find that phrase.
And lastly, before we get out of here, we have one. This is how you remind me, and it was, remember, we our whole archive is available, and we could go back and listen to our younger selves. It's almost like listening to different people. And
that's true.
Yeah, because our lives are different. Everything, our perspective, our points of views, and it's fun to take a look back. So before I have Matt set this clip up, so Kaylin doesn't get upset, here is the intro to This Is How You Remind Me.
This is how you remind me. This is how you remind me of the podcast. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, so this is from a request from Kevin Garrett, and he is requesting a clip from Watercooler number 87. And again, if you just look at our regular podcast feed, we have all of the episodes of Watercooler. You can listen to them. So anyway, it says it needs a little setup. This was over 10 minutes into a wide-ranging argument about soda, starting with Coke versus Pepsi, but veering into Matt defending his choice to not add ice to fountain drinks because of a science experiment he saw in grade school. He closes it by dropping this gem, and I have two follow-up questions for Matt. Do you remember having this opinion? And number two, why?
All right, let's take a listen. Number 87.
Have you seen that episode of Seinfeld? You are literally George Costanza right now. Like, this is ridiculous.
Probably not the first time that been told that. But,
you're like the worst version of your own stereotype. It's terrible.
I do want to go back to Pepsi versus Coke because I do want to say I do think that Coke is better than Pepsi.
Sure.
However, I personally prefer Pepsi at lunch.
You just want me to come to it. That's great. Argument done.
You can't argue with that.
I don't even know that I want to know why. Got it. That's
how you
what's on
debate.
the menu.
That's how you debate.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. And
That was fantastic.
What the hell?
So to answer your two questions, yes, I do remember having this opinion, and I still live my life by that very same opinion. As to why I only prefer Pepsi at lunch, it's not exactly clear to me. I feel like Coke in general, Coca-Cola that is, it's got like a bite to it that I love at dinner as much as I love at lunch. I'm fine with Coke at lunchtime. Again, Coca-Cola is what I'm talking about here. But Pepsi is a little bit more refreshing. Like, I've never thought Coke is refreshing, but Pepsi I feel like could be a little refreshing. I don't need that at my dinner time. It's only at lunch that I need that extra, just to kind of get me through the day. At dinner time, it's just too boring. I need something with more bite.
So Matt,
you really had a chance there to prove your opinion on the matter, and that still made no sense.
Yeah. I'm still
Matt, I
mad.
need to know, I suppose, how far this mental illness stretches. Like, are you just saying, like, if both options are there on the menu at the lunch place you have selected, that you will select Pepsi, or will you select a place?
Well,
that
first
you
of
know
all,
has Pepsi?
what magical restaurant has both Coke and Pepsi at the same place?
Yeah, they're not
You're
allowed
either
to do
one
that.
or the other.
Yeah.
But in this
Yeah.
fantasy scenario where both are on the menu, if I'm at, let's say, like a gas station with 1,000 soda fountains in it, I guess depending on what time it is, I'll take the Pepsi in the daytime hours.
All right, so I have a follow-up here. So are you selecting restaurants that you know to be proponents of Pepsi products for your lunch if an equal restaurant is in the mix that you might go to for lunch?
How much effort are you putting into this, Matt?
Almost none.
Or is it just luck of the draw?
It's pretty much luck of the draw. Again, I'm happy to have Coke or Pepsi at lunch. Where we really run into a problem is if I'm going somewhere for dinner and they only have Pepsi, now I need to speak to a manager.
Oh,
you know?
boy.
Is this a breakfast place? How dare you,
guys?
sir?
What is this? A sandwich shop? This is
Matt,
bullshit.
I've heard approximately 1,400 Chez Fondelays over the past 7 years, and you always order something called the Empress or the fucking Santa Maria, the Pinta, and the Nina. Like, what do you mean? When are you ordering Pepsi at dinner?
This was a problem for me when I was a lot younger. You're right. It's true.
So you're holding on to this mantle from 21 years ago?
Wouldn't be the first thing.
And so when you go shopping, you buy both Pepsi and Coke. You have them both in the fridge, depending on the time of day. You're going to
I'm
be
only buying Coke. I'm only buying Coke.
So if you just make lunch at home, you're fucked.
I don't
Not
mind
even-
Coke or Pepsi for lunch. How many goddamn times do I have to say this?
But
So
if you
basically
prefer
what
it
you're
for
saying,
lunch,
Matt, is
why
you
wouldn't you
talk
have
the
it in the
talk.
fridge?
But you don't walk the walk.
Oh my god.
You deserve you deserve all of this, Matt.
Well,
Just good questions.
I don't know.
Yeah.
God, I need a fucking Coke.
Strange days.
Yeah.
Strange days.
I need a
anyway,
Coke
thanks
before I go.
thanks again to Kevin Garrett for reminding all of us of that.
Kevin, thank you from me because that just
No.
made me mad.
No, please stop. Please, will you
Yeah.
stop? Ugh.
Not for real though. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks for listening back too. That was a
Definitely.
pretty classic moment. Jeez Louise.
They got outro. All right.
Just
I'm
for
okay
this
with it.
one,
I'm okay
Galen.
with it.
I'm so what? God, everyone's cool just letting it go, and you had to mention something.
Well, I'm just saying, like, our Patreon tier, you get outros to all the segments there.
All the segments,
And
that's-
maybe just all the segments. I think we're holding segments in our
Oh,
Patreon episodes now.
Yeah,
Well,
but we
come
don't
up-
do This Is How You Remind Me on Patreon, so I
Right.
think that's the exception.
yeah. All right. Well, anyway, those were the comments. This is how you remind me. And let's now go around, get our plugs in before we record our Patreon episode, which is where you get that extra dose of the WWC. So let me start over there in Austin, Texas, Mr. Pepsi. Oh wait, Mr. Coke. Sorry, I just looked at my watch there. What could we plug for you?
Well, again, patreon.com/watercooler. If you like listening to our show, if you've been listening to our show for like a year and you're not signed up yet, just do yourself a flavor. There's so much great content, and you'll get these episodes ad-free, as Chris mentioned, which is glorious. And otherwise, Shogun, mentioned that earlier. FX, Hulu, pretty fucking great. And it's a mini-series. It's not going to be that big of an investment. Only 10 episodes. 5 of them have aired, and it keeps getting better.
All right, love it. I probably won't watch Shogun, but maybe I will. I don't know. Maybe read the wiki. Kalen, so would you?
I will be reviewing Roadhouse on Patreon this week.
Oh,
So
the
if
new
you
one.
the new one with Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor. So go ahead and watch that before you listen to our Patreon. So you'll know what I'm talking about.
I can't wait to hear what you think of this one. And could we also tease maybe a flickin' score for Jurassic Park?
You know what? I did not watch it, so it would be unjust of me to throw a score out there. I have seen it, but not for a very long time.
Just like the
So,
T-Rex, yeah.
Yeah,
It-
it would go against my moral code to throw out a flicking score based on a movie I haven't seen for many, many years.
Yeah, that'd be insane.
Yeah,
That'd
it
be-
would not. Yeah, I
I
can't do
respect
that.
that.
I
Yeah,
can't do
respect.
that.
All right. Well, Gary, so would you?
Good.
Yeah, patreon.com/watercooler. I mean, if this doesn't get you to sign up, I don't know what will.
What are you talking about?
Where do we lose you, buddy? Was it the reversible underwear
I think
talk
it was the
for
inside out
45 minutes?
socks.
Was it
I don't know. I think I might have had a long day at work. I'm
The band bending?
I'm a little tired. But yeah, patreon.com/watercooler for more of this show. If you're still listening to this, then you should definitely be listening over there. And yeah, that's it.
All right. Das, what about you?
Sunday night, Easter Sunday, I'm at Flappers. Showtime is early, like 5 p.m. And it's a comedy contest. So come out and I'll make you laugh, and maybe I'll win a contest, which I won't. Thank you. Sunday at Flappers.
Easter Sunday, go see some comedy, and yeah, Dawson can win a contest. Let's do it. Show him your
Tell
support.
Jesus jokes.
These Jesus jokes. And then as for me, this Saturday night, I am playing in Huntington Beach at perks from like 9 to 1. So the night before Easter. If you want to get haggard.
Jesus, that's a set.
Yeah.
For 5 hours? Do you normally play that long?
Is
4
it 5
hours.
hours?
4 hours.
4
4
hours.
hours.
Okay. That
But
was
I
like
mean, look.
5 hours. No, I don't play 5 hours.
If ever there was something to be doing while he is being risen, it's watching Loxy.
Yeah. Look,
Do you have a set list, like an Easter theme set list?
no
Yeah,
Different
dude.
Easter
Matt,
songs that there are?
I feel like you have an Easter playlist, and maybe
Maybe I do, Chris. Maybe I do.
I'd love to take a
I'd
look.
be disappointed if you didn't.
Name one Easter song. Go.
The one from the Charlie Brown thing.
Okay. I'll take
Every song from Jesus Christ Superstar.
So yeah, maybe I'll throw in an Easter song. Who knows? Or I'll just mince some words up. And then also I'm speaking at the I'm speaking at NAB conference. They don't let me call it the NAB. They don't want it. I don't know. It's weird. So I'm speaking at NAB and
National Association of Broadcasters.
that's
Well-
right. I'm one of those, I guess. And so if you want a free
Oh
pass,
my.
use the code Chris24 when registering. You get a free exhibits pass. It's like $170 for a pass. So I'm giving you $170 off. And I don't get anything for it. It's like, it's just come out and hang. All right. Anyway, that's in Vegas. All right. That'll do it for Watercooler. Thank you so much. We'll see you for Patreon later this week. We love you. Goodbye.
Oh, oh, oh.